accountant. In India, we call it a chartered accountant, or you would have heard a CPA in US or whatever. So I'm a trained accountant. I worked for almost 18 years in different companies, in different roles as a finance head, as a finance director, as a CFO. And then in about 2012, I made a change to supply chain. So there was a career switch. So I know these two domains pretty well. And then I spent about 14, 15 years in supply chain in India and in Hong Kong, where I was looking after Asia. And then 5 years in the head office of the company that I used to work in Paris, looking after global supply chain. So about 32 years of experience in finance and supply chain, cross cultural, regional. So that's what I am, in a way. Okay. And when I retired, I obviously wanted to come back to India because I had spent about 5 years in Hong Kong, 5 years in Paris, and getting old, not getting younger. And then obviously I said enough is enough. Let's go back. Let's in a way retire and do something on your own, right? And therefore, after December 2024, I kind of started figuring out what to do, and I started, let's say, my own company. And in my company now, what I do is obviously I do consulting, supply chain consulting. So if anyone in India, let's say I have one client, I'm working for him, he's a bottler for Coke. They have a broken SNOP, they have a broken planning process, they have manual Excels everywhere. Sounds familiar? And they want to streamline into a methodical way of working, end-to-end planning, demand forecasting, supply planning, inventory planning, and to set up the cross-functional alignment, and maybe also help them implement a tool which will handle planning rather than Excel. So that is something that I have done over past 14, 15 years, and I think I'm pretty good at it. And so that's one line of business that I do, which is supply chain consulting, right? And I can actually improve the SNOP and the planning process and even execution. I mean, in terms of cost, et cetera, because I have obviously done it globally. The other thing which I do is that mentoring and coaching, and we will talk about it. Mentoring and coaching because in today's life, life is very fast, and there are too many pressures, and too many things happening in the workplace, giving us stress sometimes, and therefore, at some time, we believe that, oh, if we really had a friend, philosopher, and a guide who could help us navigate through, you know maybe some personal things, maybe some corporate things, and help us to progress in profession or to do anything, actually improve any aspect of a issue that you're facing in your life, then I also do mentoring and coaching. That's a structured process. And I don't do this only for supply chain, even though I'm, let's say, a supply chain specialist. So I think I would be even more useful for supply chain people because I understand, the complexities of a supply chain head. But I don't restrict myself only to supply chain. I have worked with people in HR, I worked with people in sales, I worked with people in. So basically, anyone who feels that he is stuck at this time, then he can, I we can get into a discussion and I can tell him how I can help. Okay. And this is because I have, let's say, I've done a mentoring or a coaching program with ICF, which is International Coaching Federation. So I have a certificate, I have a degree. I spent about 6 months, 7 months of my life learning this. And so I'm a qualified life coach, relationship coach, mentor, NLP certified, whatever, I can even do NLP, which is neuro linguistic processing, if we can talk about it. So the whole aspect of mentoring and whatever to get you over your situation is something that I also do. And I believe that many professionals in today's world need some help, and they can use my experience to move ahead, right? So- and the third and the last thing that I do is also, let's say, fractional uh, supply chain director. Now, I haven't got work, but fractional supply chain. Maybe I'll just pause and ask you: do you any one of you understands what is a fractional supply chain director?
Not really.
Come on, try it. At least try. Someone try.
With ChatGPT, we can try.
Huh? No? Okay. So fractional supply chain director means that, and it's a interesting concept. So let's say a person like me who has 32 years of experience and blah 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 and whatever, right? And I'm, let's say, talking from an Indian context, and maybe it is even a South Asian or a Asian concept. But let's say there are many smaller companies, okay, companies who are not Unilevers, or companies who are not PNGs, or companies who are not Hennikens, but there are many smaller companies, I would say, who, let's say, cannot afford a supply chain director with, let's say, 30 years of experience and whatever more, because that person is going to be charging, the salary is going to be high and whatever, but but they want to run their company more efficiently. They want to run their company with the current supply chain team. So the concept of fractional supply chain really means is that they can actually get in touch with someone like me, okay? And I can join them on a temporary basis, let's say for 6 months or 7 months, okay?
Mm.
Where I help the current supply chain team to do some projects in supply chain, to improve planning, to improve whatever I do as a consultant, I can kind of do as a fractional supply chain person also. And that is more personalized and that is more customized, because then I would actually, let's say, if I were to get an assignment of a fractional supply chain consultant in Vietnam, then I would basically come down to Vietnam for 6 months or whatever and do that. Okay, or in Singapore, or in Thailand, or in India, anywhere. I mean, obviously, India is a big country, and if anywhere in India someone needs this kind of a service, then I can go and develop their supply chain, and they know that they only need to pay me for 6 months, and then their team will get trained, and then they will carry on. Because I have no intention of again working as a supply chain director. I think I've done that. Okay.
Yeah.
So three broad things. I work as a consultant. I work as a mentor and a coach, and I work as a fractional supply chain. Is this clear? More or less, right?
Okay,
Yes,
thank
no?
you, Anh. Yeah.
Okay. So if this is clear, which part would you like to discuss first? So let's get into details. Which part, whether consulting is more interesting, or whether mentoring and coaching is more interesting as first, or you want to talk more about fractional? At breakfast today?
No, this
Why is no one
afternoon.
speaking? I didn't know that people in Vietnam are so shy. Come on, they're not coming on camera. They're not talking. Okay, let's talk about mentoring and coaching first. What do you think is the difference between mentoring and coaching? Let's leave everything for the moment. But these two words, mentoring and coaching, are also different. They are not same. Okay. So what do you think is the difference between mentoring? So Hung, if you want to be a mentor or you want to be a coach, do you understand the difference?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, then tell me what is the difference? Ah, quite brilliant. Can you repeat this in Vietnamese, please? So, whatever you have said, Sholin, would you maybe I will like to demonstrate it very quickly that what really is the difference between coaching and mentoring, right? So, are you going to play a game with me? Are you okay to play a game with me where I actually explain this difference? Try
Okay.
so that the difference between coaching and mentoring is clear to people, right? That is our purpose. So, you will have to think about some issue that you have. Okay, just think about some problem or some issue which can be a real issue or cannot be a real issue, we don't know that. And first I will work as a coach. Like you said, I will ask you some questions and then you will try and find an answer. And the second act we will do for the same problem that you will tell me as a mentor, where I will give you advice and you will basically listen and this. So that the difference between coach and mentor becomes clear. Is that okay?
Yes, it's
Are
okay.
you okay to share some problem with us publicly? Is as a coach. In coaching, the coach is not supposed to give the answer. Okay. But the coach is supposed to ask questions so that the coachee himself can think about how to deal with this problem. Okay, that is coaching. And it is actually banned to give a solution in coaching as per ICF, right? So that is the model that we will see how coaching is done normally. Okay. Sometimes you may wonder, oh, why did I pay this guy to be a coach? Because he always keeps on asking me questions and never gives me any advice. But that's the beauty of coaching. Okay, so sometimes you can get frustrated. So Sholing, don't shout at me because coaching is supposed to be like this. Yeah. So, Shaolin, how are you? So we are doing this first act, very small act. As a coach. Okay, Shaolin, how are you today? How are you feeling?
Um, Sleepy.
Sleepy. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So you had a busy night last night, and that is why you are sleepy.
Yes.
Okay. But for this session of ours, do you, even if you are feeling sleepy, just because now we are in the session, do you know what you want to discuss for today? What is bothering you?
Yeah, I knew.
Okay. So can you tell me what should we discuss today?
I will discuss with you about the coaching and mentoring.
Yeah, but do you have a specific problem?
I have. Yes, I have.
Okay. Tell me your problem.
I have the problem when I'm working with changes.
Sorry, problem of working with
Changes.
Gen Z.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, it's not an uncommon problem because today I think the workforce is changing, and that is why many people are facing this issue. But can you tell me exactly what is your problem? Because many people can have different kind of problems with Gen Z. What specific is your problem?
First with them.
Okay. So, see, today's session, we would like to be very specific. Okay. And we want to deal with one problem at a time so
Okay.
that you can act on it. So, between these two, for today's session, whether you want to discuss the declining or you want to discuss not completing, which one is more important to you today?
Decline.
Decline.
Yes.
Okay. So, what we are going to discuss is the decline. Okay.
Yes.
Ah, okay. So, do you have this problem with only one particular team member, or anyone at random comes and declines work?
Only one.
Only one. So now we have a specific problem with this particular team member of yours. Okay. So how long this team member has been working with you?
About 2 or 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. And before that, and because Gen Z means a person is young, does this person have a previous work experience, or I don't know, he or she is working in your organization for the first time?
Uh, he already has experience in another company,
For
like
how long?
intern. Yes.
And for how long was that experience?
About um 3 months. I don't
About three
remember
months.
exactly.
Okay. And in terms of the nature of the job that he did in the previous employer, right? Whether it was supply chain or sales, I don't know. But was the nature of the job and the nature of the job with you exactly same, or now he is doing different things?
Different. The
He's
last.
different.
Mm,
Okay. Okay. So I will take a pause here, and I will just, tell that, you know, in the next 40 minutes that this session will continue, I will keep on asking questions, and we will keep on eliminating policy, issues. And then I will help Sholing actually design a solution on the basis of the questions that I ask her. Okay, so that is what a coaching session is supposed to do. I am not supposed to give a solution, because the principle of coaching is that you have to get it from the coachee, because only then long term it can stay. Okay. But we will not do it for 40 minutes, because otherwise we won't do any other thing. But you get the idea. Okay. So if you want to be a good coach, my tips would be that yes, you need to have some experience in life, because that always helps. Uh, you need to be good at talking, communication, because you need to be, listening to Choling and making the next question, right? Because it's not that you are going to have a list of questions, because everything depends on the answer that she gives, and then you have to quickly adapt, right? So you use your experience, you use your communication skills, you ask relevant questions, and the idea should be that in one session, you should be able to solve one problem. Okay. So don't start with five problems, and you can't solve five in one session. The idea of a coaching session is to only solve one problem in, let's say, 1 hour, less than 1 hour. Okay. Because after 1 hour, people can't concentrate, it becomes too heavy. So coaching sessions have to be, let's say, about 50 minutes, one topic, questions, and get to the solution. Get to the solution to the sense that you agree with Joling that what is the change that she is going to bring about in herself. Okay, first, and then her experience with the Gen Z would change. So that is what is coaching. I rest for a minute. Let you ask some questions on coaching if you have. Anyone? Anyone you want to clarify? And I'm
mm.
a pretty good coach. So if you really want to experience me, you can hire me.
Can
But
we
but that's besides the point.
can we
Any
go?
any question on coaching?
Yeah, we have.
Where is the question?
Duyên hỏi đi Duyên.
Dạ, dạ thôi chị. Em tính hỏi cái situation thứ hai, nhưng mà để cho mấy bạn hỏi, để cho mấy anh chị mấy các bạn tham gia hỏi.
Ok mọi người ơi, có ai có câu hỏi không mình hỏi đi. Nếu mà không có tự tin tiếng Anh có thể nói tiếng Việt Hương dịch cho.